Okay everyone, gather round. Fantastic. Welcome to this quick dive into the fascinating world of thematic analysis. So, you've got a pile of interviews, focus group transcripts, open-ended survey responses, maybe even some social media posts, blogs, and tweets. You're swimming in words, and you're thinking, help. How on earth do I make sense of all this? Well, that's where thematic analysis comes to the rescue. Think of thematic analysis as your trusty method for systematically spotting and organizing those hidden gems, the patterns of codes, categories, and ultimately, the themes that run through your qualitative data. It's way more than just counting how often a word pops up. It's about digging deep to truly understand the why behind the words, the underlying ideas, and the different perspectives people are sharing. The absolute beauty of thematic analysis? It's super flexible. You can use it for all sorts of research questions and different ways of looking at the world. Whether you're exploring people's real-life experiences, getting to grips with their opinions, or uncovering how social things work, thematic analysis can be your go-to tool for making sense of the rich world of qualitative data. And remember, thematic analysis is like detective work. It's an interpretive journey, and different researchers might spot slightly different codes, categories, and themes, which is perfectly normal. Alright, let's get hands-on. Think of coding as the real engine room of thematic analysis. Here's a quick peek at some key approaches and terms you'll bump into. First up, inductive coding. Think of it as exploring from the ground up. Imagine you're venturing into a brand new forest. No map in sight. So, you start walking and notice all sorts of different trees, quirky plants, and maybe even some animal footprints. You naturally start grouping similar things together based on what you actually see in the forest. That's the essence of inductive coding. You begin with your raw data, no preset list of labels, and you let the codes, those little tags for bits of your data, bubble up directly from the text itself. It's all about letting the data tell its own story and uncovering those unexpected aha moments. Next, we have deductive coding, our top-down approach. Now, picture having a detailed map of that forest, maybe from previous adventurers or a handy guidebook. You know there are specific types of trees you're on the lookout for, or particular landmarks to find. Deductive coding is similar. You start with a ready-made list of codes, often inspired by your research questions, existing theories you're testing, or what other researchers have found before. Then, you go through your data specifically looking for examples that fit these predefined codes. This is super useful when you have a strong hunch about what you might find and want to see if your data supports or challenges those ideas. Third, let's talk about axial coding. It's all about connecting the dots to build categories. So, you've got your initial codes, whether you found them inductively or deductively. Axial coding is like taking those individual observations in the forest, a specific type of leaf, a bird call, and starting to see how they connect. You're looking for relationships, maybe cause and effect, or how different codes seem to influence each other. Think of it as building bigger groups, or categories, by linking your initial codes around a central idea or phenomenon. This helps you go beyond just describing what's there to understanding how things are connected. For example, if you have individual codes like rough bark, lobed leaves, and acorns, you might group them into the category oak tree characteristics. Categories help you start to organize a whole bunch of individual codes into something more manageable. Fourth, we arrive at themes, the big picture, your key findings. Themes are like the main storylines that emerge from your forest exploration. They're broader, more abstract ideas that represent the deeper meaning, recurring patterns, and key insights you've found across all your data in relation to your research question. Themes aren't just listed, they come to life through the relationships you've identified between your categories. So, in our forest example, after looking at different types of trees, plants, and animal behavior and how they interact, you might identify a theme like the delicate balance of interdependence within a mature forest ecosystem. Themes are the crucial takeaways you'll share in your research. And finally, let's imagine organizing your findings like a family tree. That's hierarchical structuring. This is how you can present the different levels of your codes, categories, and themes, showing how they build up to more abstract ideas. You might have those broad, overarching themes right at the top, with more specific sub-themes and categories branching down below. This really helps you visualize the different layers of meaning in your data and clearly shows how those specific details contribute to the bigger picture. It's like having a super organized filing system that shows exactly how everything connects.